Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid. Just going to dive into BTT. Once again, thank you for your support and the really nice comments that you put on these videos. I really do appreciate it, and I'm glad that people that find it helpful. So yeah, diving into BTT right now, you can see we've had this correction. When the market corrects, not many projects do stand aside from that, unfortunately. That's because the market's not very mature and there's not enough liquidity in the market to solidify any trading sort of, when things go, everything goes sort of thing. And obviously it's all on Bitcoin. Bitcoin shits the bed, everything shits the bed. Unfortunately, that's the way it works until sort of the market matures. And we're quite a long way off from that at the moment. It's still an emerging market, and a brilliant market it is as well, with lots of opportunities. So right now we are in a bull run. Don't forget that, and we are having these corrections, and these corrections are perfectly normal. Yesterday we was anticipating a little bit of a bull pennant right here, and we got that breakout. Did you see that wick that went right up there to our target and then bounced back? That was crazy. So that was like almost a precursor to, oh, hang on a minute, something's not right there. That should have gone up and played out and continued and then consolidated, but immediately got brought back down, sold off. So that's a bit of a precursor to say, well, there's more selling pressure in the market right now than there is buying pressure. Hence why we've got this rollover, and hence why we're now falling down. But I want to reassure you, we are finding levels of support. Okay, we're not falling lower than this recovery right now. We are sort of sitting on it, to be honest with you. You can see that this wick here is slightly below that one there. So we're still kind of making a higher high, so to speak, but not necessarily. It's still relatively quite flat. Okay, we can't afford to lose this low here, because if we do lose this low, then you are invalidating this recovery that we had on the go for BTT, and you will sort of come further down and potentially test previous swing highs. As you can see, we've sat on this swing high there, we've found it support. So if you start to lose that swing high, the previous swing high, because immediately, without bringing any fibs up or anything like that or trend lines, you can see where your key levels of support are. They're basically the previous swing highs. So you can see you fell down, swing high, rested, and you can see the next potential swing high is down there. So potentially, if BTT was to correct any further, you could just say that that's your base target that you would potentially see BTT fall back to before it finds a level of support. Just like here, when it went up, corrected, where does it fall back to? The previous swing high. Do you see that? If it starts to lose this, where's it going to fall back to? The previous swing high. And it really is that simple sometimes to just look at and see your potential fallbacks without bringing any technical analysis up and indicators and trend lines and stuff like that and Fibonacci retracements. You can immediately see that that's a potential fallback target. So do remember that in the future, okay, that if you're starting to see a project go up, right, you're starting to see it go up and take off vertically like this, and you think, well, I don't want to get in there, I'm going to buy the pullback. If it falls back, always target the previous swing high as a potential fallback, because you can see that was a perfect entry for a recovery as it went on, as it starts to get extended, then take profits and fallbacks and stuff like that. But at the minute, you can see that we've basically come down to a previous low just there, and we can't afford to take out that low. So what I'm going to do is drop that in for you right now, so you know that particular target for BTT is all the way at there, 0.0693795. And I'm going to drop this target in as well, just in case we was to see BTT correct any further now, because you can see what it's doing. I'll show you exactly what it's doing at the moment. But that particular target there is 0.054270 for BTT if it was to correct any further and lose this level of support, which it's now tested. Do you see how it's tested it? It's fell back down, and look where it tested. Boom, our previous support. So it's good, basically. We're continuing to hold this level of support, and that's what you want to see. But you're not completely out the woods yet, and I'll tell you why. Because effectively you're under the EMAs in a 4 hour, okay? And the more you remain under those in a 4 hourly time frame, the more you're sort of hitting them as resistance. It's forcing you back down. You're going to start forming bearish crosses, which contribute to the downtrend and stuff like that, where you're continuously hitting resistance, and it forces you down and down to test lower levels of support until you eventually break those levels of support and obviously fall down lower. But that's not what we're anticipating for BTT, okay? We're hoping that Bitcoin doesn't correct any further, even though Bitcoin, I've done an update on Bitcoin today. I don't usually do an update on Bitcoin, but there's a very bearish pattern on Bitcoin right now. So I've made that to just make people aware of what could potentially happen if Bitcoin was to correct any further. Then obviously it would drag the markets down with it. But hopefully I'm hoping that Bitcoin gets that recovery and the bulls step in. But sometimes you can't ignore the patterns that are under your nose, okay? You have to pay attention to them. So what I'm seeing right now for BTT, what you need to keep an eye on is this particular signal here. If BTT does form a bearish cross, on the 4 hourly time frame, you could see the contribution towards the down pressure and potentially push you through this low level of support, and then the recovery becomes a little bit more drawn out and longer for BTT. Okay, so it needs to hold this support, and basically what we need to see is it get back above the EMAs. This yellow line and red line here. The yellow line is a 20 EMA, okay, on a 4 hourly time frame. The red line is a 55 EMA on a 4 hourly time frame. You do need BTT to get back above them, back test it as it did here from this recovery. When it went down there, it got back above, and as you can see, it back tested it, and it would just start marching on, okay, and hopefully taking out this high and move on and upwards, because that's what we want. Everyone wants it to go up. It's easier to make money on the way up than it is on the way down. Although if you do get into the shorting trade, okay, you can make money, but it's quite difficult, and it's if you're not careful, you can actually get liquidating and stuff like that. So always tread with caution. But one thing I want to say, if you do start to see yourself come down now, and you are hitting your head as this as resistance, and you're being forced down, you could potentially look at something like this, where you're sort of coming down and you're sort of trading down, okay, hitting your resistance, hitting your head on this resistance of these EMAs. You're starting to form this sort of triangular pattern where you're hugging this bottom baseline, okay, and the fact that you've come down into it, it's a continuation pattern, okay. So you could potentially, I'm always going to be transparent with you on this channel, you could potentially see BTT just get more downwards pressure, okay. This is a potential play. If it fails to break this resistance of the EMAs, get back above it and back test its resistance, you could potentially see you're just going to keep force down until a breakout comes, and the breakout target is roughly the same as where you come into the triangle and form the top of a descending triangle like that, okay. And as you come into it, you could potentially see yourself cascade and fall down and toast that previous lower low there, which is that previous swing high, so you come down and retest that as a level of support. But that is obviously the bearish scenario. I always give you every scenario right here, and if you was to see it start, and this is another short trade opportunity right here, I'll always give you everything I see, okay. I won't feed you no spiel. If you do see BTT get tight in here in this range, okay, and it's starting to look like it's breaking down and losing any sort of momentum to get back up above these EMAs, and it's starting to tighten, then potentially do anticipate the short opportunity right there, because if it does lose the 0.069375, you could have a nice little short trade there down to this level of support of around 20% for BTT, and obviously apply that with some stop losses and obviously take profit as well, because you might just see it wick down there and come back up. But that, if it did do that, then that's sort of prolonging this recovery we've got, and potentially you could start seeing yourself fall through some of those EMAs on the daily time frame as well. So if in doubt, always zoom out, and you can see right now, okay, so you could potentially fall under the daily 20 there. So move that over to the right like that. So if you was to come down and lose this daily, you could see if you did fall through that, you would potentially be coming down by the time it was to get to that, okay. If we do continue to go into a sort of downtrend, you would see that you're potentially going to come down and hook that the 55 EMA on the daily time frame there, which again, I want to reassure you, is perfectly normal and perfectly healthy in any market, providing you don't start to lose those levels. Because look, when you went up here, you got the bullish cross, okay, boom, you went up, you bolted out the gate, you come back down, and look where you found support. Looks bad, looks bearish, oh no, the end of the bull run. But no, it's just confluence to the fact you're getting back tested support that you're going to march on. And sometimes the markets look for that, okay. The markets do look for that retest, especially the 55 on the daily. Is it just a real nice test of support and confidence to the fact that you are continuing in the uptrend. So that's the bearish scenario. I'll always be transparent with you. That's the bearish scenario. Right now on the daily, you are above the 20 EMA. You're holding it as support. You can see, I'll get rid of all this. You can actually see that you're just holding it as support. You've had that little wick down, okay, to the previous level of support when you found that base, okay, but you are above the daily, and look what the daily is doing. It's creeping up. You are adhering to it as well, so you are ascending. So retrospectively, you could just keep doing something like this, where you hug the daily, come back down, back test off it, keep creeping up until you actually take on that future price prediction there for BTT. So far so good. It is strong, it is healthy, but I've given you the breakdown targets there. If you do lose that particular level, okay, you start to see it break down even more, and it can't make any headway on the 4 hourly time frame where it's getting above the 4 hourly EMAs, and you're being forced down, you can't lose that level there, because if you start to lose that level there, you will potentially see yourself fall down to this level here, which would be this 55 EMA on the daily time frame there. And again, just to reassure you, it did come down to there. That's perfectly healthy in itself. It's just a retest of support before continuation in an uptrend. So that's BTT really. What can we have a look up to the upside? Again, if you was to get this break now, okay, because what you may be forming here as well, and always full transparency with you, you've got this bullish cross, okay, on the 4 hourly time frame. Let's tidy this up. You've got the bullish cross on the 4 hourly time frame. You're still holding this sort of high lows. You've not made a lower low than this particular level right now. You are still conforming to that ascending sort of trend line on the daily. Remember the 20 EMA. So you are still creeping up. But if you fail to get above this, then it is going to contribute to your downtrend, just so you know. But what you could be looking at right now is this simple thing that we call an EMA retest on the 4 hourly time frame. And it is a really good thing, actually. You've got this bullish cross on the 4 hour, okay? And what happens is you go up, it pulls the price up. And as you come back down and correct, these lines start to come together. And what they do, they reject from forming a bearish cross, because this is a bearish cross just like that, okay? If you was to get that and see that, then that would contribute to your downtrend and potentially a big signal that you are going to break this level of support and push down further. So this is a very key indicator that you do want to keep an eye on, okay? Because if this, and I am anticipating this actually, to be honest with you, because I'm going to anticipate this repel, right? And if we get this repel, I'm going to put a nice long trade in here for BTT, because when you get the repel just like this, okay, you start to see it repel and curl around and reject the bearish cross. It slings the price action over its shoulder like a catapult, okay? And it gives you the power and the confirmation of a base of support that you're going to march on and you're going to broach this high. So I effectively, if we do see that rejection there, the bearish cross, I think you've got a fantastic long opportunity up to this high, at least of 40% for BTT. So do keep an eye on that as a really important signal to keep an eye on these EMAs. In my opinion, I always say it in all my videos, the EMAs are the best things you can look at, to be fair. You know, just price action EMAs. People drop so many trend lines in, indicators and stuff like that, but you can sort of get a gist of what's going on with this. This is like almost, you know, obviously it's going to go one way or the other, but as you keep an eye on this, is if this starts to reject and pull up, okay, you could be looking at a nice little pump there for BTT and a little recovery, sling it over its shoulder and at least go on to tackle that high. So again, nice little long opportunity there. Critical time, okay, can't afford to lose this lower low. If you do, if you start to fall down lower than that, then you are looking at retesting this previous swing high down there, which is that level there. Okay, so that's BTT. Stay strong, stay safe, and you can look at the RSIs nicely down there in the bottom level there. It's almost looking like it's ready to just push up a bit, isn't it? The MACD, the bearish cross, that's contributing to the downturn there on the 4 hourly. But sometimes people say the 4 hourly shouldn't bear any significance on the MACD there, because you can see in out sort of thing. But yeah, it is contributing. You can kind of look at that and think, well, that histogram's kind of running out of steam a bit. The blue line's starting to curl a little bit up towards the orange line. So that's hence the recovery there. But like I said to you, I know I'm rambling on, but I just want to reassure you that all you need to do is see this price action get back above the yellow line and the red line, and it's golden. It's a nice little recovery, and you sort of a lot more confidence back in the market to march on and obviously take out that high and that high there, and then obviously up to our price prediction there for BTT. We are in a bull market. Don't forget that. We are in a bull market. Good luck, everyone. Stay strong, stay safe, and most importantly, stay tuned to CoinsKid. Please like that video and share where you can, and obviously drag more people into the channel, and let's all get this crypto and learn together, okay? Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.